Hi folks, that's HonAndroid.com, where we get on Android every day. And we have got the second generation Moto X in the mail finally, because FedEx screwed up, I think, over the weekend. It was supposed to arrive last Friday, but it arrived today. But let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy. Let's go do this, baby. Alright folks, let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy. I'm gonna go ahead and take the FedEx box out here. Let me just go ahead and use this knife here. Alright, here we go. And inside is the box. And that's it. Alright. And let me go ahead and apply the knife there. And this is actually a custom version I ordered on their Motorola site. So let's go and check it out. Probably the custom part is actually pretty cool. Ew, I got the leather black back. I don't know if you can see there, but I got my High on Android there. It's not too bad. And I've got the Moto X here. And let me go ahead and show you the box also, of course. Inside the box, it comes with a charger. Same thing as the original Moto X, or the first gen Moto X. Jewel here. It looks like the exact same charger. Hopefully it's a little bit more high powered. It says output 5 volts. Yeah, it's actually the exact same charger. I don't know why they did that. But also the exact same SIM tool. Well, actually, it's black instead of white one I got. And also micro USB cable. And of course, a bunch of manuals. I don't really like to read them. So let me go ahead and put the box aside. And let's take a look. Let me go ahead and power it on. And wow, it feels. Let me give you a feel test without even looking at the back. I just took a quick look at the back, but let me go ahead and give you the feel test. Wow, compared to the first generation, this thing feels way more solid. It feels like there's actually a metal frame around it. I don't know, actually it does. And it booted up within like, 5 seconds. Pretty cool stuff. Accept and continue. No. Right off the bat, last week I did a unboxing of the original. The reason why I did that is because I also wanted to see the changes from the first version and the second version. I really like the larger size. I felt like the original Moto X was actually kind of really small. And I'm actually getting 4G LTE. That's weird. This is the SIM card that comes with it. And I don't think I'm getting any data, but let me just go ahead and check it out. I don't know why I'm getting 4G LTE. Okay, so it just comes with the 4G LTE prepaid or something. Looking pretty good. Let me go ahead and give you a quick tour of what it looks like close up. I was actually not gonna get this phone, but then again, I decided to lift my ban on Motorola since they don't have lock bootloaders anymore. Very nice design. I really like this. What is this thing? It's sort of like a I don't know how do you call it. But it feels really nice. Got the two, I don't know what the buttons there are. Alright, let me go ahead and show you the bezels here. I think this is metal bezels, or it could be plastic that could be made to look like metal. But it feels very, very solid. I'm really surprised. I actually got the original first generation on my right here. And you can see the size has grown quite a bit. And one thing I didn't like about, well, sort of liked it and didn't like about the first generation Moto X, I've been actually using it as daily driver for the last whole week, was that it's sort of small. And when you're looking at websites, it's just too tiny. I mean, when you go look at like full websites, like desktop browser versions, I can read it fine on my Note 3. But with the Moto X, the first generation, I couldn't really read it. But I really think this is the right size. And actually, I think it's actually very similar to the LG G3, which I really like the form factor. Maybe a little bit smaller, as you can see here. Just a little bit smaller. It's still a small phone. It's not a phablet, but I really like how they upgraded the screen. Also, it's now 1080p instead of 720p, I think. And it does ship with 4.4.4. Nice going, Motorola. So very nice stuff. I really like it. And there is a ring flash, which is supposed to be the coolest part about this phone here. Let me actually go ahead and turn the flash on real quick. And let's take a photo. How do I take a photo? Oh, there we go. So let's do the ring flash here. So the ring flash actually it looks like a ring, but it's actually just two flashes. But I guess these things actually diffuse the LED flash. Sort of nice. And I think that does have some cool effects to it. I'll have to definitely test it out. But let's just do a quick test here real quick of this right here. Alright, let's see how that looks. It looks okay. You can still tell it's a flash. Let me actually go do that with my LG G3 here with the flash on, just to be fair. Alright. And I have the brightness down, that's why you can't see anything here. Let me see. There we go. Alright, so the light diffusing, does that actually help? Let's find out. Let me raise the brightness up here and show you. Here we go. So I'm not actually that sure yet. I'll have to test it out for sure. It looks similar, but I really like the brilliant, bright colors on this phone. It's definitely better than the original Moto X. This one feels like just very rubberish versus the new second gen. You can really feel the bezels. It feels metal. I think it is bevel. I actually didn't read too much up on this, but I'll have to read up on it. And let me go ahead and show you the rest of it here. It's got a small microphone at the bottom, and on top, I believe that is the SIM tray, of course. 3.5mm jack. On the left side, there's absolutely nothing. All right, very clean. And also on the right side, you got the power button. I really like this power button versus the last year's. It's metallic, definitely metallic, and makes it easier. And just the design, kind of like it. I think this is what everybody's going with, slightly curved. Really makes it easy on your hands. It feels really good on your hands. Just like LG G3, HTC M8, they all have this curved design on the bottom, which really makes sense. Yeah, let me go ahead and go into some of the software features, but I really like it. It's actually a very, very nice feel phone. I'm not sure what these things do, but I'll find out here. But my initial impressions, very good stuff. The only thing bad about it is obviously there's no removable battery, and also there's no removable storage. So I got the 16 gigabyte. I'll be stuck with 16 gigabytes. Of course, you can use an OTG cable if you don't use terribly a lot of data. That might still be okay. All right, probably the coolest feature on the Moto X, the original one, was the voice commands. So let me go ahead and set up voice here. So you can actually check, you can actually say anything you want. You can say OK Moto X or whatever.
Just say your launch phrase to get Moto's attention.
Okay.
For example,
I'm going to do this. Okay. All right, find a quiet place. I'm going to say OK Moto X. Oops. OK Moto X. OK Moto X. Oh, why not? OK Moto X. OK Moto X. Alright, it says great. I'll need to say a few more times Okay, Moto X. Okay, Moto X. Okay, Moto X. Okay, Moto X. All right, here we go. And it's gonna check if the matches, and then I'm gonna say okay, Moto X. That's what I said. Okay, Moto X. Open calendar. All right, here we go. Let me try it like this. Okay, Moto X. Open calendar.
Opening app.
All right, let me try. Okay, Moto X. Okay, Moto X. Okay, Moto X. Okay, Moto X. Find my phone. Ooh, actually that's kind of cool. So this voiceless or voice actions commands actually work pretty good as they designed it, so it doesn't use too much battery life. And also it has a feature where you can wave your hand over and then it'll show you your active notifications. I don't have any right now. And then you got the little guy here. It's like it's a bug. It's a bug. It's a bug in the Moto X. I've started noticing this, and I've started noticing this after the latest Android 4.4.4 update on my first generation Moto X. Basically, it's a lookout app. It's just a fun app you can play with, and it's just there. You can disable it if you want to. But the first time I saw it, I didn't know about it, and it totally tripped me out. I was like, did I get a virus on my phone? Because you're not supposed to be able to get a virus on a Linux-based phone or Android. Looking very good. I really like it actually. It feels like sort of like slightly bigger than my HTC One M8, and the processor on it is actually the 801 processor, so the same one found on the Galaxy S5 and also HTC One M8 and also a OnePlus One. So, you know, Motorola has done a great job of at least using the CPU processor that we actually been using on other phones, so it actually keeps up, which is very nice. Last year I think fell behind a lot, and that was probably one of the main reasons why people didn't buy Moto X, including myself. But still, Motorola really has to work on timing, because it's already been 6 months since HTC One and Galaxy S5 has been out. In the next 6 months, this processor is going to be already old. You know, just because people want to be on the latest, best, the fastest processor, so you can run apps faster and stuff. So, you know, that's one thing they have to work on. I wish they released this like maybe at least 3 months earlier. Then I would be okay with it. But it's already like beginning of the third quarter this year, and they're launching 801 processor. Maybe that's why the price is a little bit lower. I got this at almost $600, I think, about $550, and I think the price is okay. I mean, you know, I really dig the camera. It's a 13 megapixel. You know, I really dig the ring flash, and even though I can't test out, I can't really test out the long term or long distance of this flash, but I think it's going to work out really well for your subjects that are a little bit farther away. Probably not for macro shots so much, but I'm going to definitely test that out, and if it works, then we could have a better camera than the HTC One M8. Looking actually pretty good. Let me turn the flash off. And the first generation Moto X was just very disappointing for me. The camera just sucked. I tried in low light. You know, I get this 2012 technology on the camera, but this one's a lot better. I can clearly tell. And just take a look at some of these photos I just took now. It's pretty good actually, because I didn't use flash. Very nice focusing, and also it does have 1080p slow-mo. All right, let's check that out real quick. And we'll do a slow-mo of my hand here and play that real quick for you. All right, slow-mo. Not too bad. It's a little dithery, but most of these are. But look how quickly you can cut the timeline here, make it smaller, slow motion edit. Pretty cool stuff here. All right, and let me go ahead and test out the 4K. And here we go, Ultra HD. Sadly, you won't be able to replay your 4K videos with the existing gallery. I believe that's a limitation of Google's gallery app there. Okay, I'm recording and I can take photos, and for some reason it's not focusing. Let me actually let it focus first. So one thing I just noticed right off the bat, that it does not support manual focusing, which is sort of important for me and a lot of people. But you know, not too bad for 4K there. So you got 4K, 5.2-inch screen, full 1080p. I really dig the screen. I mean, you can't really tell, but there's this slight curving, just like the new the Note 4 is doing, I think. Well, slightly, but I really like how the glass is sitting on the phone. Let me see if I can show you that real quick. But it's a very nicely designed phone. Like last year's Moto X felt like a toy, really, versus this one. This is definitely like the top of the market, top of the line. Sorry, I keep making too many mistakes today. But looking very good. I'm getting good 4G LTE. This is the unlocked version, unlocked T-Mobile version. But I put my AT&T SIM card, 4G LTE working just fine. And you know, I really love the UI because they didn't do anything. They didn't put all this Moto UI when they had it with the Droid Razr and stuff. I mean, they still do it with the Droid lines, but I really like the Moto X line. It's really a Google phone. You know, to me this is a Google phone because Google owns it, obviously. And they've done a pretty good job. I think they just have to really work on the timing so I can get my Moto X, you know, maybe in 8. Oh, that's that actually tipped off the voice command there. You know, if we can get this Moto X in April, May, June, this is definitely going to be one of the contenders. But right now, people are already making new phones. There's going to be Galaxy S6 coming in 6 months, the G4, you know, all these things are already in the works. So Motorola just falling behind a little bit. They just need to really stay up with the timeline of everyone else. You know, what's the point if you launch a phone like a whole year later, but it uses the same processor as what Samsung and LG used last year? So in that sense, Motorola is about 6 months behind. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they need to really change the timeline, I think. Or they should have put on 805 processor for this one. But it's a very good phone. I really like it. I'm just saying Motorola's timing is just way off. And I'll have further review of this phone after using it. But I really dig the ring flash, and that's like one thing that's going for them that might actually work out really well in like complete darkness and you want to take photos of your friends and stuff. Just the flash is a problem with smartphones. My DSLR, I have a flash, works quite well, even though it's not a ring flash. They have ring flashes for DSLRs, which is probably ideal for the best photos, but who knows, this might take as good photos as a DSLR with a ring flash. It may. I'm gonna go test it out. I'll have a separate video on that. Other than that, it's straight up, pure Google, very good stuff, and you'll be able to install custom ROMs. I should have rooting for both of these. I'm going to root them at the same time. So watch out for that at motoxroot.com. But I'm really digging this. Also, the leather finish is very good. It's actually a real leather, and it's actually already falling apart which means it's like real leather, I think, right? It's sort of like, it doesn't look new, even though it's new. But I really dig it. There's the only thing with this phone is I noticed there's only one microphone. You know, it's not going to give you that stereo effect that I get on my LG G3, Note 3, which both of them have microphone on top and bottom. And I think that's one thing they could work on. But overall, I'm very impressed. I'm not sure about the battery life. I really dig the feel thing. And this phone is big enough for me to actually not have to squint, which is why everyone's moving to a bigger screen, because nobody, you know, when, you know, iPhones first came out, you know, Steve Jobs thought, you know, let's make it this size because my hand is this size. But obviously, it's easier if you have a bigger phone. And the technology got better. You know, a couple years back, you could not make a phone that's this thin with this large display. Oops, we got cut off there. But, you know, I was talking about how the displays are getting bigger. It's inevitable because, you know, a couple years back, they could not make a screen this big, this slim. That was the problem. They couldn't make it super slim with a super large screen. But now they can, and there's no reason to use a super small screen unless you know, have super small hands or you just wear super tight jeans all the time. But I like where this is going. Moto X is doing pretty good. I really like it. So highly recommend this phone. For those of you wondering between maybe LG G3, HTC One M8, and the Moto X, definitely Moto X is somewhat smaller than the LG G3, and versus the HTC One M8, which I actually got here. We can check out the size. I think it's actually slightly wider and slightly shorter than the HTC One M8. So very similar specs as the HTC One M8, slightly smaller than the LG G3. As far as the form factor, you know, it's a very nice phone. I really like it. I think they did a terrific job this year. USB 2.0 there. Love it. So, sorry, it's getting kind of long, but I'll have a full review of this after a week or two, after trying it out, and I'll give you my full thoughts after using it for a week. But this is going to be my daily driver for the next week, and I still haven't figured out what these things do. I think these are I have no idea what these are. So please do let me know what they are if you know what they are. Or maybe it's front-facing camera flash. You know, let me try that real quick. Sorry, my video is getting super long. No, I don't know what it is, but it looks really cool. I know it does something. As far as the speakers, I forgot to tell you, the speakers are decent. One thing I noticed with the original Moto X was that speakers were quite loud for the small phone, quite loud as Note 3. This one is about the same. You know, the speakers actually blare out from your microphone down here also, which I think is okay. I wish they'd have put it like down here, so when you put it in your pocket, the sound can still come out, which is why I like the Note 3. The M8 is great, but the sound comes out this way, so you know, it's only when you leave your phone like this, when you're watching something or you leave it on the table. The stereo effect is only when you're viewing in landscape. Anyway, that was unboxing of Moto X and my thoughts, initial impressions on it, and I hope you guys liked this video. And thanks guys for watching this video. I really dig the Moto X. I think this is a good phone, especially with the level of customizations you can put. It only takes less than a week for you to get your customized version of Moto X. And I really like the, you know, pure Google UI. I think it has unlocked bootloader, especially the unlocked version. This is the unlocked GSM version, which works with both AT&T and T-Mobile 4G LTE. Also, I really dig the ring flash. So definitely, you know, every phone has its own advantages, and I think this probably has its own advantages over some of the other phones. But I think it's a very nice phone. If you don't want like a super large phone like a Note 4, Note 3, maybe LG G3, slightly too big for you, this could be just the perfect size. It's slightly wider than the HTC One M8, but I really dig the screen. You know, 1080p, everything looks just super crisp and clear. yeah, love it. I don't know what these buttons do, but if you know what these buttons do, do let me know. And as always, if you have enjoyed this unboxing video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And as always, stay on Android.